Sony just announced the 40mm, 50mm, and 24mm lenses. Nikon's about to release several lenses with many more planned in their roadmap. And Apple's getting ready to unleash more M-powered Macs. This and more after the intro. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning in to The Ordinary Filmmaker. Subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, gear reviews, or tutorials. And a big thanks to Atomos for sponsoring The Ordinary Filmmaker. I'm using the Ninja 5 external recorder for all my studio work as it saves me a ton of time in post. Want to speed up your editing? Well, then use my links down below to purchase your own Ninja. And now for the news. Sony just announced the 50mm f2.5, the 40mm f2.5, and the 24mm f2.8. Now all these are G-series lenses, and all are designed to work with Sony Alpha full-frame or APS-C cameras. And each lens is designed to provide quiet operation, which is good because this makes it not only ideal for stills, but also video work. Each one is priced at $598, and while a little more than anticipated, it's still far cheaper than other options on the market. Now if you're interested in either lens, use my link at the top of the description to purchase from B&H. Nikon Rumors says that Nikon will announce 4 Z-mount new lenses very shortly. Well, yeah, I guess they would be new, wouldn't they? That's kind of redundant. Forget I said that. Now, included will be both macro and pancake lenses. Now, this is Nikon's current lens roadmap. We can expect 2 pancake lenses, the 28mm and the 40mm. The macro is likely to be the 50mm or the 105mm. 4 S-line lenses are expected, but we don't have the f-stop for any of these. They are the 24 to 105mm, the 85mm, the 400 and 600mm, and there's only one DX lens on the roadmap, the DX 18 to 140. We also have the 200 to 600, but as you can see, there's nothing here to indicate what badge it's going to have or even the f-stop. And as far as bodies go, well, we should be getting an APS-C Z-mount camera. Now the lenses and APS-C body should be available for sale in the second half. Subscribe to The Ordinary Filmmaker so you don't miss any news. Apple has pulled the iMac Pro from its website, officially discontinuing the model and making it unavailable for purchase, which is one of the reasons why I decided to sell my iMac Pro, as Apple's making a rather huge architecture shift that really helps favor people like me, content creators, providing a significant boost in high demand performance. And I wanted to sell while prices were still pretty good. And that I got $29.60 US for it, I think is a pretty good sign that I did okay. I'll either replace the iMac Pro with a new iMac or the MacBook Pro, though I'm leaning heavily towards a new MacBook Pro for its mobility capabilities. But the iMac Pro isn't the only Mac being pulled. Apple stopped producing the 512GB and 1TB SSD configurations for the iMac 4K. Then a few weeks later on Apple's online store, those 2 variants were removed from options for the 4K iMac. Now this is definitely an indication of an imminent refresh of iMacs with Apple's new M-powered processors. Now according to Apple Insider, an announcement is expected in April, so we just have to wait and see. Now it isn't possible to tell which Macs will be announced, but it's highly likely that we'll see a refresh of the iMacs, leaving the MacBook Pro until a later announcement. Now Apple Insider did state in a previous post that the MacBook Pro won't go into production until summer for a fall release. And we haven't seen Apple draw down options or remove MacBook Pros from the online store. I suspect Apple will announce M-powered 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros in another event, perhaps at WWDC. What do you think? Are you interested in any of these new Macs as editing machines? Let me know in the comments section down below. And now, let's go behind the scenes for something a little bit embarrassing. So for those of you regularly tuned in, you might have noticed yesterday that I put out a video at my lunchtime, which could have been dinner time or breakfast time for you, and it didn't have any audio. And one gentleman posted, I think, 5 or 6 articles going, dude, there's no audio. Still, there's no audio. There's no audio here whatsoever. And that's correct, there wasn't. So since I got the Ninja 5, I changed my editing workflow just a little bit. When I start a project, I no longer copy the files over to my SSD that I work off of. I just leave them in place. So I go ahead and bring, and that's fine. It's working perfectly as designed. I'm pretty happy with that. But when I go to bring in the audio, if I don't remember to click the option back to copy over to the library, it's going to be pulling that information off the well, I guess it's a micro SD, or if I'm using a tethered cable. And if that connection is broken, well, we don't have access to that audio. It won't get removed from the project. But you see, I thought I'd copied it over. So right when I'm running Compressor, or started to run Compressor, I closed Final Cut, and then I ejected the micro SD card, because I thought, well, you know what, let's slowly start to clean up, put everything back in its place. Let's put the memory card back in the Tascam, bring it downstairs so I don't forget, you know, all that sort of stuff, so you don't forget stuff and leave it behind. And of course, Compressor didn't shoot a warning. There's no file here, no big deal. But here's the funny thing. If you've already run Compressor on the same project file and it's already got a file in place, it'll send out a big warning saying, hey, by the way, there's already a file here. And it'll say a big error, but you remove one of its source files and it's pretty happy to continue going. So I uploaded the project, and yeah, it didn't go over very well. So needless to say, I recompiled, or not compiled, I re-exported and uploaded, and you've got that from yesterday, and it's all fine, but that cost me a good hour. It only took me about 5 minutes, but then the computer had to re-export and had to re-upload and all that sort of business, so it wasn't a whole lot of fun. So yeah, this is what happens when you're old and you change your workflow. Sometimes you forget a few things, and it can cost you a couple of hours. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win 2 Angelbird 128GB AV Pro MK2 V90 UHS-2 SD cards and a dual UHS-2 card reader as well, also from Angelbird. Or you could win Or you could win the Ulanzi LED light package with accent lights, underwater light, and various other flat panel lights that you can use for lighting your subject, or as a really good starter kit for someone who's starting their own YouTube channel. I'll be awarding these 2 prize bundles once the channel reaches 30,000 subscribers. Then I'll be offering up different prize bundles all the way up to 100,000. Now, once I reach this significant milestone of 100,000 subscribers, I'll be awarding a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. And on that bombshell, thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon. Oh, and before I completely go, don't forget to submit your video for the Spring Challenge. You've only got a week left. We'll see you again soon.